Greetings again, everybody. Welcome back to Dark Souls. Last time we rang the second bell of awakening, and this time, as promised, I'm going to show you the whip. Before we carry on though, let's check out that spider lady here. She doesn't seem to be very talkative, but that's actually where the old witch's ring comes in, because if we equip the old witch's ring, we can understand what she's saying. So let's go on ahead and, well, equip it.
My dear sister. Quaylag, what is it? Quaylag, my dear sister. The eggs, it hurts. They've gone still. I am afraid it may be too late. I am so sorry. Dear sister, I'll be fine. I have you, dear sister. But promise me that you will take care of yourself.
Oh, fantastic. Now this makes me kind of feel like a little bit of a dick.
Goodbye, Quaylag. It was so very nice to chat.
You speak the tongue of the fair lady? Well, do not be rash with your pride. You have yet to earn my trust. If you try anything funny with the fair lady, there will be hell to pay. There is no time for idle chat. Think only of our fair lady and what she may need. There is nothing to say to you, except if you lay a hand on the fair lady, you should be prepared to face my wrath. There is nothing to...
Well, he doesn't seem like a very fearsome person, but anyway, he sells us the servants roster of the Chaos Servants Covenant we didn't join yet. He's also a pyromancy trainer, although he doesn't sell us pyromancies yet. Later we might join the Covenant and change that. So yeah, we have now rung both bells of awakening, and ringing these bells of awakening has been our task so far, and right now we don't really have another quest to embark on. So I think the best thing to do would be just explore this little cave system here a little bit further, since it's already here. I mean, it can't really harm. We might find something nice, maybe even a clue on how to make some progress. Over there, for instance, is a fog gate, and fog gates do mean progress, right? So about Quaylag and her sister, the Fair Lady. Well, it seems as though Quaylag wasn't just, you know, hanging out down there to kill random people for no reason. She probably was actually preying on people who were out to ring the bells of awakening to gather humanity to save her sister. Her sister, who can't even really speak with anyone aside from Quaylag and, well, people wearing the old witch's ring. Now, the old witch's ring may or may not be a ring belonging to the Witch of Izalith, who's the mother of both Quaylag and the Fair Lady. The Witch of Izalith, by the way, was briefly seen in the intro cinematic of the game, so maybe if you forgot that, you will want to check that out again. And hey, what's this? That looks dangerous, to say the least. Let's approach it and say hi. We could have also come here through this way if we had turned right earlier, I guess. And so far this big ass thing doesn't seem to be hostile. So I don't see any reason to anger it in any way. Greetings, how are you doing? Well, not the talkative type, but at least, even though he's ugly as fuck, he isn't the bad guy apparently. Oh, a body on some kind of altar. Well, I guess the best thing to do here would be to obviously loot it. Oh. That can't be good. Ceaseless discharge. I know what you're thinking, and I assure you, all the jokes have already been made, and no, none of them were particularly good. The corpse we have looted, by the way, is the corpse of his sister, and he doesn't permanently aggro until we loot that corpse. And here's the whip in action. Yeah, it's pretty shit. But yeah, we could have attacked him before looting the corpse, and then we could have left, and if we had come back, he wouldn't be angry at us anymore. As I said, he's only gonna permanently aggro on us if we actually loot the corpse, and that's what we did now. We're not supposed to fight him yet, but you can be sure to know that the whip is shit. In fact, I'm surprised it does any damage against him at all. I'm kinda surprised that didn't kill us. But well, that did definitely kill us. I take that as a sign to walk the other way and actually leave Blighttown again. No, I wouldn't show you just backtracking. Because Blighttown, we're actually gonna leave it a different way we came in. This is the way you would come in if you were to use the Master Key to kind of sort of sequence break through the game. And just more proof that the whip is not a very good weapon. But hey, if you're gonna show it, I'm gonna show it in a place that's still fairly early on. I'm not sure if the whip actually has a use. I can't see any. The moveset isn't particularly good, and its attack power is very, very low. But anyway, I'm going to return to that one bonfire because I forgot something, which I will now want to collect. Nothing essential, but still something that hopefully we will find some kind of use for. And this arena here, if you're smart, you might expect a trap. Because, yeah, it seems like a setup here. Pay attention to the chain of this chest here, by the way, it's slightly curled up. It's going to be important at some point, I swear. Inside is a dragon scale, and there was no trap here. What a letdown. But anyway, we can now leave. Also rest at the bonfire to cure our poison, because that's slowly draining away our health, which can't be a good thing. You will definitely want to use that way to get out of Blighttown. Because if we actually went all the way back the way we came, that would be a pretty long walk. Well, this shortcut here, I say shortcut even though it's a little bit of a way, but still, it's much faster. And it can hardly be missed because it's a water wheel basically, which also serves as an elevator to lift us good ways up Blighttown so we don't have to climb all the way. So let's just try this nifty thing out, shall we? At this point I would like to note that the environment in this game often fucks with the camera. The camera bounces right off of walls and other solid objects. If you find yourself getting killed by, well, your camera suddenly moving around, you might want to turn off auto wall recovery in the options to get rid of that. And you just saw there, that is a spot that could have killed me. It fucked with my camera. I only survived because I moved slowly. Anyway, we're not going to head out just yet. Because on the way back up out of Blighttown, there are actually quite a few, well, optional little side paths that, well, lead to great rewards. So we should probably check them out. That whip is useless. Still using the Spire Shield, by the way, because, well, we are still in Blighttown and we'll have to deal with those blow dart guys. Also those annoying flies, but with range attacks, no problem. on our way down to the swamp, I mentioned that there was some kind of evidence of someone coming down here to actually try to purify Blighttown. And that corpse right there, that's the evidence. And the chest next to it, the sorcery remedy, which probably belonged to the person who we just looted the corpse of. Anyway, that corpse had the sealer set on it. It's fairly good medium light armor. That has to be upgraded with Twinkling Titanite though, so it's kind of special. It also had the Tin Banishment Catalyst, which, well, is a catalyst. It's kind of special though because it's also pretty half decent as a melee weapon. Probably better than that whip here anyway. This here's a nice vantage point. You can see most of Blighttown. And also our next destination, that place down there. That's where we're headed next. It's not the way out, but it's another little one of those side paths that lead to something, well, something good. But this place, I tell you, is hard, but we'll see. When walking across those branches here, you will definitely want to be careful because it's easy to just slip off. And if you go too fast, you will definitely fall down. Trust me. Up here will be our next little adventure. The spot we could see from our nice little vantage point up there. And those flies, they're really annoying to deal with, mostly because they infinitely respawn. So the fun with them, well, it just never ends. But anyway, let's get back on track. This spot here is fairly difficult. It has, well, it has 4 blow-dart guys in them. And it may be safe to say that this is the quote-unquote boss fight of the way out of Blighttown. It actually isn't that hard, but still, you will have to be a little careful, since you have to deal with more than one of them at the same time, which so far you didn't have to do. And sometimes you do stupid things like knocking them down. That's actually a bad thing. That doesn't really help you much. Maybe I should have done this from the beginning, seeing as the crossbow took that one out with 1 hit. But yes, you can see I am inflicted with toxin now, and I lose my health rather quickly. If we decided to jump down here, or climb down there, it would probably not be such a good idea because we would have to deal with those fire dogs and also the blow-dart guy. But at some point, we will want to go down there. Hell, I say at some point, we're gonna go down there pretty soon because the only reason to really come here is down there. But let's try out those throwing knives, why not? We are Simon Belmont, or a Simon Belmont cosplayer of sorts. Yeah. That wasn't very good. So this seems like better way to do it, even though it's the whip. So, after we collect that item we just saw on the other side there, I will show you another reason why the whip is fucking terrible. First, let's enchant our whip. And then, let's go down for the epic plunge attack. Oh wait, more like a Goomba Stomp. Yes, that's right, you cannot plunge attack with the whip. I mean, it makes sense. It's not exactly a weapon you could, you know, get much use out of while falling, I guess. But still, it's kind of disappointing, because I think it's really the only kind of weapon that doesn't have a plunging attack. Now, there are several, well, fire dogs down here. First, we want to take care of those down there, even though there is nothing down there. We don't want to have any nasty surprises while we deal with the other ones. Now all there's left to do is basically to get the hell out of this place. There's one little problem though. Do you remember that one blow-dart guy that we accidentally knocked off? Yes, he climbed up now. And we have to deal with him somehow. And oh, were those 2 blow-darts that came down just now? Why is there a 5th guy? I thought there was only 4. But anyway, I guess we will have to deal with that somehow. Unfortunately, we're almost toxic again. Oh, well, we are toxic now. This is a run of this place gone bad. And I didn't know there was going to be a fifth guy. He must have spawned or something after we collected the Firekeeper's soul. And I actually didn't know that would happen. Well, at least I assumed that this was what happened here. There isn't enough time to aim with a bow from down here, so it's best to just brute force it. Let's see if we can do this without getting toxic again. Well, seems so, certainly. Well, I'm glad that's over with. So, even though I did say this spot isn't that hard, it's still one of the most challenging spots of the game. It's one of 4 spots in the game I can think of from the top of my head that I think will cause a player death for first-timers here. It's one of the reasons I do like Blighttown though, this particular spot I mean. It rewards exploration, and it rewards taking risks, because a Firekeeper's soul is, well, it's really good loot. You might not really think so the first time you play this game, because you're probably not going to be aware of what they do. Unless, of course, you read its flavor text, which tells you outright what it does. This chest, though, check out the curled up chain, it's really important. Oh yes, it also contains the key to New London Ruins, which is our ticket out of here, at least if we're going to get out this way here. And speaking of getting out, we're pretty much already out. But one final challenge, and I really need to enchant my whip to overcome this. Yeah, beating those guys with a whip, not very fun. But definitely possible. But oh yeah, hey, whips also can't do backstabs. Why would you want to ever use a whip? It does nothing. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, well, 2 more of those guys are here to be fought. And I'm just gonna say that the only way to really get decent damage out of the whip that is on par with other weapons you would have at this point is to enchant it and two-hand it. And that doesn't really speak too well of the whip. But oh yeah, since that guy's yelling, getting in free hits is almost the best thing. Especially with a weapon such as this. And now, there's nothing between us and the exit anymore, I promise. If you didn't want to play through all of Blighttown and started with the Master Key, this, right in front of us here, is where you would come from. And the Valley of Drakes connects to New London Ruins, which is where we are headed to now, but it would also connect us to Darkroot Basin. But still, we're not going to explore the valley just yet, instead we're going to go back to Filing Shrine. A little bit earlier, we picked up the Sealer set. Apparently, we looted it from the corpse of the genuine article. But the set's description actually contains a lot of lore, so why not just go ahead and read it out? The Sealer set was used by the sorcerers who flooded New Londo, to seal away the Dark Wraiths and the 4 kings who descended into dark. The Sealers were once known as healers, and the bright crimson was a symbol of that. The mask symbolizes their resolve to keep the seal shut forever and their atonement for all who were sacrificed, but 2 of the 3 forsook New Londo upon tiring of their duty. So, the Sealers were a group of 3 people who eradicated an entire town for reasons they believed to be right. The first one supposedly still is in New Londo, the town they flooded. The second one we probably found dead in Blighttown. And the last one, well, we have no idea where he is right now, but maybe we'll learn. Isn't this where Anastasia, the keeper of the bonfire, was sitting earlier? Oh, her stuff. Either she went naked and left, or she's Dead. Well, yeah, she's dead. That sucks. This is no murder mystery. Let's gather evidence. First, look through her belongings. Ah, the Black Eye Orb. It keeps constant watch on the City of Gods and Orlando. Maybe that's where we need to go. But first, let's interrogate some of the people here. Hey you, did you kill Anastasia?
Did you ring the second bell? That is incredible, I must say. But now we have a new problem. It's noisy, it snores, and its breath is lethal. This is no laughing matter, I tell you. Damn, that stench. And I was really beginning to like it here. Maybe it's time I do something about it.
Is that a clue perhaps? Maybe. We need to find that noisy, lethal breath problem and those shit. Anastasia's dead, and that means we cannot rest at this bonfire anymore. Hey you, did you kill Anastasia?
Oh, hello. Well, you certainly are keeping at it. Myself, I'm fine. Let's get started straight away. Two things are... Goodbye, then.
That's not really helping. So, the next suspect is right here. Hey you, did you kill Anastasia?
Oh, hello. Miracles, I presume? Yes, I'm... Come again.
I never trusted him. But it probably wasn't him. Yo, Laurentius, what's up?
Oh, hello there. I'm pleased to see you safe. As always, if you provide the materials, I can teach you pyromancy. My teacher, whom I imagine still resides in the Great Swamp, had a funny way of putting it. He said that pyromancy is the ultimate fantasy. We are born into dark and warmed by fire, but this fire we cannot touch. Those whose fascination with fire persists learn to hold it in their own hand. He rather had a way with words, the old withering frog. In this land, pyromancers earn a certain respect. The Witch of Izalith, one of the legendary lords, is the godmother of pyromancy. So the day I became undead, I was ecstatic. I felt as if I'd been chosen to attune myself to the ancient arts. Of course, it wasn't all that romantic in the end. A pyromancer's flame is... Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go alone.
So I think we all know that the person who killed Anastasia isn't here, and that thing. I suppose this is the noisy, lethal breath thing that the crestfallen warrior mentioned. So let's take care of it for him. Let's just shoot it. Pump it full of bolts. I'm sure that's exactly what the game expects us to do, right? Yeah, take that. Your face is ugly.
You sorry fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened again.
So let's see what happened if we didn't do that.
Ah, hello. Was it you who rang the bell of awakening? I am the primordial serpent, King Seeker Frant, close friend of the great Lord Gwyn, chosen undead, who has rung the bell of awakening. I wish to elucidate your fate. Do you seek such enlightenment? Very well. Then I am pleased to share. Chosen undead, your fate is to succeed the great Lord Gwyn, so that you may link the fire, cast away the dark, and undo the curse of the undead. To this end, you must visit Anorlondo, and acquire the Lord Vessel. I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent? Those who seek the realm of lords must brave Sen's fortress, a deadly house of traps. Many have gone before you, but none have returned. Fate has chosen you, but proceed with caution.
So Frontier is actually the character who gives the player the second big quest of the game, going to Analondo. As Freihill, we kind of angered him. We could have just ignored him for the same effect, but the reason we did this was so we can do something else a little later in the game. And Front actually is a useful NPC. We can feed him various Titanite shards to chew them into smaller Titanite shards. And we can also feed him items in exchange for souls, which is the only way to quote-unquote sell items in the game.
Farewell, chosen undead.
So, as I said, we did this for a reason. If we had talked to him, we wouldn't be able to join a covenant later on. However, in exchange for that, we locked ourselves out of the ability of selling our items in exchange for souls. But now, it is time to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this little episode, and I also hope to see you next time.